Have you ever paused to consider the impossible? What if I told you that time travel isn't just science fiction, it's documented reality? If you've always believed these phenomena must have rational explanations, prepare to have your worldview challenged. Today, we're exploring 15 genuine mysteries that defy conventional understanding cases, where the evidence points to something extraordinary. Let's begin with a story that will forever change how you view reality. Case 15. The Phantom Train of Lombardy Tunnel. Picture this: a warm summer day in 1911. The elegant Zanetti Express departs Rome, carrying over 100 distinguished passengers. Sunlight streams through the windows as laughter and conversation fill the luxurious compartments. The journey seems perfect until the train approaches the Lombardy Tunnel. What happened next remains one of history's most perplexing disappearances. The train entered the 500-meter passage and simply vanished. No wreckage, no survivors, no explanation. Only one passenger escaped by leaping from the carriage just before the tunnel entrance. His testimony described an unnatural white mist that filled the train, a fog so thick it obscured everything. He lost consciousness after jumping and awoke to find the train gone without a trace. Years later, researchers uncovered astonishing connections in Mexican historical records. Documents from 1845 describe over 100 bewildered Italians appearing suddenly in Mexico City. They insisted they had boarded a train in Rome on July 14, 1911. Most were institutionalized as lunatics, but their accounts remained consistent. Most compelling was a small artifact carried by one traveler, a snuff box manufactured in 1907, decades after their appearance in Mexico. Could this be evidence of a temporal anomaly? Perhaps the Zanetti train didn't crash. It transcended time itself. Before we continue, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you could witness any historical moment, which era would you choose? Share your answer below. And if you're fascinated by these mysteries, please consider subscribing. We have incredible stories ahead. Case 14. The Mind That Spanned Millennia. In 1921, Swiss educator Paul Amadeus Dion fell victim to a rare neurological condition. While his body remained in a coma for nearly a year, his consciousness reportedly journeyed to the year 3906. Unlike typical time travel narratives, Dion described not physical movement, but a complete transfer of awareness into another person's mind in that distant future. His writings, published as Chronicles from Tomorrow, paint a vivid picture of humanity's evolution. He described societies where technology served human flourishing rather than replacing it. Cities existed in harmony with nature, and medical breakthroughs had conquered diseases we still struggle with today. Most remarkably, people lived 2 centuries while maintaining vitality and purpose. But beyond physical advancements, Dion spoke of a profound spiritual awakening, a collective consciousness that transformed how humanity understood its place in the cosmos. When Dion awoke in 1922, he carried wisdom that seemed impossible for his era. His account challenges our understanding of consciousness itself. Could the human mind truly transcend time while the body remains anchored? This case suggests that time travel might not require machines. It might be an innate capacity of human awareness waiting to be unlocked. Case 13. The Tennessee Farmer Who Vanished. September 23, 1880. Tennessee farmer David Lang walks across his field on an ordinary afternoon. His family watches from the porch. In the blink of an eye, he disappears. No sound, no warning. Just empty space where a man had stood moments before. Searchers found something even more disturbing, a perfect circle of dead grass where Lang vanished. No matter how many times they replanted, nothing would grow there. But the true horror came later. Months after his disappearance, Lang's voice began echoing from that same spot. Desperate cries for help would drift through the air. "I don't know where I am! Please help me!" The voice sounded exactly like David, yet seemed to come from another dimension entirely. This case raises profound questions about reality's fabric. Could temporary rifts in space-time swallow people whole? The barren circle suggests a physical manifestation of whatever tore through our world that day. If such portals exist, how many have opened unnoticed around us? This isn't just a ghost story. It's evidence of dimensional boundaries thinner than we dare imagine. Case 12. The Brazilian village that chose another reality. A traveler arrives at Hoyer Verde, a peaceful Brazilian village of 600 souls. What he finds defies comprehension. Homes stand intact, with meals still warm on tables. Doors hang open, as if residents stepped out mid-conversation. The only message left behind reads, "There is no salvation." Investigators discovered something even more unsettling. Hidden in the forest were ritual sites containing ancient texts describing methods to pierce reality's veil. These documents detailed complex ceremonies using symbols, chants, and rare herbs to create gateways between worlds. The villagers hadn't been taken. They had chosen to leave. The message in the square wasn't a warning of doom, but a farewell note. They had discovered how to step through a doorway into another existence, understanding there would be no return. This wasn't an escape from disaster, but a deliberate transition to a reality beyond our comprehension. Their empty homes stand as monuments to humanity's greatest adventure, the courage to leave everything behind for the unknown. Case 11. The Gentleman from Another Century. Times Square buzzes with neon lights and post-war energy. Amid the crowd lies a well-dressed man who seems to have stepped from another era. When police examine his belongings, they discover an impossible truth. Every item dates to the late 1800s. His identification shows a birth year of 1846, yet he appears no older than 30. This is the Rudolph Fentz case, a mystery that challenges our understanding of time itself. How could a man from the Victorian era appear suddenly in mid-century New York? Some theorists propose he crossed through a temporary rift between parallel realities. Others believe he traveled forward through time. His sudden death on the bustling sidewalk might have been the shock of encountering a future his mind couldn't process. The Fentz case suggests that time isn't the rigid line we perceive. Perhaps moments from different eras occasionally overlap, allowing travelers to slip between them. If true, how many others have walked among us unnoticed, bearing the silent knowledge of other times? Case 10. The Digital Bridge Across Centuries. In a quiet English cottage, teacher Ken Webster discovers messages appearing on his disconnected computer. The texts come from Lucas, a man claiming to live in that same house in 1546. What unfolds is a two-way conversation across 400 years. Ken types on his BBC Micro, and words appear on Lucas's writing slate in Tudor England. Their correspondence reveals astonishing details. Lucas describes daily life in the 16th century, while struggling to comprehend Ken's descriptions of modern technology. Most intriguingly, Lucas reports receiving messages from a third party, someone who doesn't belong to either era. This suggests their connection wasn't just temporal, but dimensional, touching multiple realities simultaneously. Experts remain baffled. How could a standalone computer receive messages from the past? Some propose that the cottage sits on a natural, thin place where time's fabric weakens. Others believe consciousness itself can bridge temporal divides when conditions align. The Dodelston case challenges our most fundamental assumptions about time's nature, proving that sometimes the past reaches out to touch the present. Case 9. The Photographer and the Silver Sphere. Kiev police encounter a man who seems to have fallen through time. Sergei Ponomarenko carries a 1950s-era camera and identification from the Soviet Union, a nation that had dissolved 15 years earlier. His passport shows a birth year of 1932, yet he appears in his 20s. When told the current year is 2006, he recounts taking photographs near Kiev in 1958, when a brilliant silver sphere descended from the sky. After a blinding flash, he awoke in modern Kiev. The film from his camera confirmed his story, showing 1950s Kiev landmarks and the mysterious sphere itself. Most compelling was the discovery of his 1958 missing persons report, matching his description perfectly. This wasn't a case of amnesia or deception, it was temporal displacement. Ponomarenko's experience suggests that UFO encounters might involve more than extraterrestrial visitors. Perhaps these craft manipulate space-time itself, accidentally or intentionally transporting witnesses across decades. His story raises a haunting question. If time travel is possible, how many others have been displaced without anyone realizing their true origin? Case 8. The Traveler from Laxaria. Frankfurt authorities are baffled by Jofar Vorin, a man claiming to hail from Laxaria, a nation that doesn't exist on any map. He speaks broken German mixed with an unknown language and describes a continent called Sakria, where Laxaria flourishes. When shown a European map, he points to Frankfurt's location, insisting that's where his homeland should be. Vorin's knowledge astounds scholars. He discusses technologies and geographical features unknown in the 19th century. Most shockingly, he claims to originate from 2083. After days of interrogation, he vanishes from a secured room without explanation, just as mysteriously as he appeared. The Laxaria case suggests that parallel realities might exist alongside ours, occasionally overlapping. Vorin wasn't lost in time, but displaced between dimensions, where history unfolded differently, and Germany never existed. His disappearance implies he found a way back to his reality, leaving us to wonder, how many dimensional travelers walk among us, hiding their true origins? Case 7. The Physicist Who Outran Time. Ettore Majorana wasn't just brilliant, he was revolutionary. His 1930s work on neutrino physics shaped modern particle physics. But in 1938, he boarded a ship from Palermo to Naples and vanished. Despite massive searches, no trace emerged. Then, in 1955, a photograph surfaced in Argentina, showing a man identical to Majorana, yet showing no signs of aging. Colleagues recalled Majorana hinting at a breakthrough before his disappearance. Some believe he constructed a time machine, testing it on himself. The ageless Argentine photo supports this theory. He hadn't hidden for 17 years. He had traveled forward in time. His sudden appearance in 1955 wasn't a return home, but an unintended stop on a journey through centuries. Majorana's case represents science's ultimate paradox. The mind that solved time's mysteries may have become time's prisoner. If he truly mastered temporal travel, he might still be out there, observing humanity's future from the shadows, unable or unwilling to return to his own era. Case 6. The Man Who Erased Himself. Sligo, Ireland. A quiet man checks into a hotel using the name Peter Bergman. Over several days, surveillance cameras capture him, leaving with a distinctive purple bag, returning empty-handed each time. He's systematically disposing of his identity, piece by piece. Then, his body washes ashore. No identification. No labels on his clothing. No cause of death. International databases yield nothing. No fingerprints match. No medical records exist. It's as if he never lived. The meticulous removal of clothing labels suggests he came from somewhere those brands didn't exist, perhaps another time or dimension. His purple bag ritual wasn't random disposal, but careful elimination of evidence that might reveal his origin. Peter Bergman's case terrifies investigators because it implies intentional infiltration. He didn't accidentally slip through time. He arrived with purpose, then erased himself when discovered. The haunting question remains, was he alone? How many others might walk among us, hiding their true nature behind carefully constructed identities? Case 5. The Ageless Courtier. The Count of Saint Germain moves through European history like a ghost. First appearing in the 1740s, he dazzled courts with impossible knowledge describing ancient events, as if he'd witnessed them, predicting futures with uncanny accuracy. He claimed mastery of alchemy, music, and philosophy, speaking dozens of languages fluently. Most remarkably, he never aged. Official records list his death in 1784. Yet credible sightings placed him in 19th century Paris, 20th century Rome, even modern New York. Saint Germain wasn't just long-lived, he was timeless. His deep understanding of historical events suggests first-hand experience, while his technological insights hint at knowledge from beyond his era. Historians now theorize Saint Germain may have discovered methods to manipulate time, either through advanced technology or esoteric practices. His appearances at pivotal historical moments weren't coincidental, but deliberate observations. The Count of Saint Germain represents humanity's greatest secret. Immortality isn't about living forever in one time, but moving freely across all times. Case 4. The Drowned City Visionary. YouTube user Edward claims membership in a secret organization possessing time travel technology. His evidence? A photograph allegedly taken in 5000 AD showing Los Angeles submerged beneath rising oceans. Instead of ruins, the image reveals floating cities on massive platforms, connected by aerial transports, a civilization adapted to planetary transformation. Edward explains that time travel only works forward and requires returning to the departure point. Radiation exposure limits journeys, causing cumulative damage to travelers' bodies. His warnings about coming decades' climate collapse, political upheaval, technological singularity align with scientific projections. The photograph isn't just evidence of time travel, but a prophecy of humanity's resilience. Critics dismiss the image as digital manipulation. Yet Edward's detailed descriptions of future social structures and technologies resist easy debunking. His account suggests that time travel already exists, hidden within classified programs whose discoveries could save or doom our civilization. The question isn't just whether he's genuine, it's whether we're ready for the future he describes. Case 3. The Vanishing at Anjikuni Lake. Canadian trapper Joe Label approaches a familiar Inuit village near Anjikuni Lake. The silence hits him first. No dogs barking, no children laughing, no fires crackling. Inside homes, meals remain half-eaten. Tools rest where they were dropped. Even the sled dogs lie frozen in the snow, still tethered. Most disturbing are the empty graves bodies removed from their eternal rest. Label's report sparked a massive investigation, but searchers found no footprints, no tracks, no signs of struggle. The village hadn't been abandoned, it had been vacated instantaneously. Local legends speak of spirit portals that open during specific celestial alignments, allowing passage to other realms. The empty graves suggest this wasn't just an evacuation, but a spiritual migration. The Anjikuni disappearance challenges our understanding of reality's boundaries. If an entire community could vanish without trace, What does that say about the stability of our world? Perhaps the most frightening aspect isn't that they disappeared, it's that whatever took them could return for others. Case 2. The Floating Cities of Tomorrow, March 2019. A blurred figure appears on Apex TV's YouTube channel, claiming to be from 3311 AD. He presents 3 photographs: a floating city above the clouds, an organic-looking residential structure, and an aircraft gliding over transformed landscapes. His story involves quantum computing breakthroughs in the 1990s that enabled temporal displacement. Scientists dismiss the images as forgeries, yet their architectural coherence defies simple explanation. The floating city's design follows principles of aerostatic lift and energy efficiency that match theoretical models for future habitats. The aircraft's shape suggests mastery of gravitational manipulation. Most compelling is the residential structure's biomimetic design, blending organic and technological elements in ways that anticipate cutting-edge architecture. If authentic, these images represent more than time travel evidence. They're blueprints for humanity's survival. They suggest our species will overcome environmental collapse by taking to the skies, creating new civilizations among the clouds. The anonymous traveler's mission, to show us what awaits, raises profound questions about destiny and free will. Are these images warnings or promises? Case 1. The Bottomless Threshold. Late 1990s. Radio host Art Bell receives a call from Mel Waters, describing a hole on his Washington property that defies physics. No matter how deep he measures, thousands of feet, the hole continues. Objects thrown in vanish without echo. Most disturbingly, a deceased dog thrown into the hole later reappears alive and healthy nearby. Waters claims government agents seized his land, paid him handsomely for silence, and relocated him temporarily. Skeptics call it fantasy, yet his detailed descriptions of the hole's properties, its electromagnetic effects, temperature variations, and temporal distortions suggest first-hand experience. The dog's resurrection isn't just miraculous, it implies the hole accesses a realm where life and death aren't fixed states. The Mel's Hole phenomenon represents humanity's greatest hope and fear, that reality contains doorways to other existences. Whether natural anomaly or artificial construct, this threshold challenges everything we know about physics. If such portals exist, they're not just spatial passages, but temporal and dimensional gateways, connecting not just places, but possibilities. So, what do you believe now? Are these cases evidence of time travel, dimensional shifts, or something beyond our current understanding? Which story resonated most deeply with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're eager to hear your perspective. If these mysteries captivated you, please subscribe for more explorations of the unexplained. Thank you for joining this journey through time's hidden corridors. Until next time, keep questioning reality.